it's Don the Action Professor. I had another haul video I had showed where I found some posters. After that, I actually went by another person's house who calls me. I go to him probably 2 or 3 times a month at the most. It takes him a while to get stuff together. He sells leftovers from stores and things like that. He does music and promotions. He was in a band for a while, has a couple nationally produced records out. But I picked up a whole bunch of record-related and musician-related items. These are store advertising posters that would have slid into the racks to sell the records. There's a couple interesting ones in here. I'm not up on all the people in here. Sugar Cubes I don't know. But there's some of these, there's like 10, 20 of the same ones. Some of the better ones are like Paul McCartney. I got a bunch of these. I figure these are worth $5 or $10 a piece. I got $50 into this stack and another stack almost this big. This weighs like 30 or 40 pounds worth of paper. I think altogether we weighed it. It was like 60 pounds worth of advertising for $50. The odder the groups, the better for the most part on some of these. But you can see there's a ton of material here. Wrathchild America. I know who they are too. Testament. I know who they are. NRBQ, these are all same kind of things. Wild Weekend. Here's a real good one. Hang on. Let me skip a few. Dylan and the Dead. I figure this is worth 10 or 15 bucks. I got a bunch of those. More Wrathchild. XTC. Again, $5 a piece, I figure. George Harrison. There were some newer ones in there. I grabbed all what I could. It was literally I left stuff even. I didn't even take it all because this is just a lot of material. I figured I'd try a $50 worth first and go from there. He's going to hold on to it for me until I decide in another day or so. But I mean, there's some newer people. Disturbed. These are actually promotional posters. I listed some of these already right after I got them. Some of the REM, and I've already sold 3 of them for. I think the first 3 went for $34.50. But they're actually double-sided Windows promotional posters that would lay in the store window. Black Keys, popular group still. Some of these I haven't heard of, but Soul Rocker, I don't really know who that is. It's a whole pad of them, actually. There's 15 or 20 of them. Offspring, I do know. I've seen them in person once years ago. I mean, there's just a ton. My Morning Jacket. Outer Heaven by Grays. A lot of these I don't know, but I'm figuring 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 bucks a piece for some of them. I don't even really know who some of these are. Here's a couple of good ones. There's Beatles. I didn't even see that one until just now. That might be 20 or 30 bucks right there. Eminem, The Eminem Show. Ben Folds. Jeff Buckley. I'm not really sure who that is. But we'll find out. I'll look these up. I'll probably give you an update on them. There's a lot here. I don't. It's going to take a couple hours to look through all these. They might be giants I've heard of. I don't know much about them. I've got some real big ones too that came with this lot. So I've got one more stack this big, and then a stack of some like big scroll posters that might have like hung as banners. Again, I'll $50 on these. Somebody might know who some of these are. I don't really know who all these people are. I love the artwork on this one, though. Some of these are just awesome. Head Wound City, I don't know who a lot of these are, but again, $50. I already got my money back from probably the ones I do know, like the Beatles and things. B-52s, I know. That one will probably sell. Elliott Smith. See, some of these I do know, but there's a lot I don't. It's just a huge amount. Nick Lowe, I don't really know who that is. Probably somebody who'd be shocked that I wouldn't know. I don't know who that is. What is that? Don't know who that is. I mean, it's just an immense amount of material here. Take a chance on it, on stuff like this. If you got quantity on this, I know who it came from, so I know I'm not going to get skanked. I've bought many items and lots from this guy. He has a professional career. He wouldn't steer me wrong. I've known him since I was 17. So this is a big plus for me. There's some oddball stuff in here. I'm sure some of these are going to go for good money. The 3 we did sell of the REM we put up on Amazon, and literally they went right away. We had one up for an hour before it sold. Civil Twilight. Again, I don't know who a lot of these are. You might recognize them. Some of these are concert posters advertising the concert. Again, I don't know who a lot of these are. I don't know. You might know them or recognize them, but for me, it was just a quick, easy chance at making some cash. Just a big old group of Flobots I've heard of. But you can see I haven't even went through half of this with you, and there's just a lot here. $10 a piece is what I would hope to put on these, and they'll be easy on Amazon, especially the ones where I have like 10 and 12 of the same ones. There's some of them there's even 20 of, but there's at least probably 500 different posters altogether, maybe 600 or 700 even, plus multiples of those. Again, these are just half the stack, and plus I got the big posters, but maybe somebody will recognize these. Motorhead, I know. Might have to iron a few of these out, but again, you can't iron out posters if you're careful. A brown paper bag and put the iron on low, and you can iron these creases out in a lot of items. I iron vintage paper from the 1800s, even the 1700s. The older the paper, the safer it is to iron because they were made with cloth fibers. Here's a couple of bigger ones. Again, I don't know who... The Walkman, I don't know who that is. There's a couple big 3 posters here. Again, somebody might know who they are, but this one I've heard of, Death Cab for Cutie, Made in the Dark. Again, I'm thinking I'm probably going to get $2,000 or $3,000 for these. Some of these are actually silkscreen, hand silkscreen posters. Those are usually the best. Like this one actually feels like it's hand silkscreen too. Those are usually the best. This looks like Bob's Burgers. Yeah, this is Bob's Burgers, the musical album. It's a poster. It's a double-sided poster, actually. That might be worth a few bucks. Bob's Burgers is pretty popular. It looks like there's a couple of them in here. Again, $50. I might get that out of just the Bob's Burger poster. I don't know. As I said, here's another one. Dido, Slim Shady, Joseph. Again, I don't really know who all these people are. They're such oddball names. Wild Beast, Boy King. Again, so these are fairly new. Some of these are UK artists. Some of these dating from like 2014, 2015. I think this is another poster. Sub Pop. Now, Sub Pop's Nirvana's first label. Afghan Wigs. Now, this is an earlier one then. This is probably early 90s, grunge era. I might get some good money for this. I've got a couple Afghan Wigs songs on my player. There's 2 or 3 more of these. Again, this is just an incredible lot. My Morning Jacket. There's 4 or 5 different My Morning Jackets. I want to say there was a American Dad episode where he talks about this. So I'm pretty sure they're pretty popular. The list goes on and on. I barely touched the surface of this. Most of these are all in good condition. Again, I don't know who some of these are. Rat-a-tat-tat, I just don't know. Christina and the Queens. This is actually a concert poster. It lists dates and shows. Michael Cronin. I don't know who these are. But again, most of the ones, if you don't know who they are, they usually sell pretty good. At least in old records and vintage stuff like that. Danny Brown. Again, these are just a huge assortment of posters. Jeremy and the Harlequins. Ben Waite. $50 though. I'm always happy when I see the big, huge quantities of items like this. You can't go wrong with material that's music related. Get yourself the clearance on Amazon to sell in the entertainment collectibles section. That's where these are all going to go. I'll probably double list them on eBay. And there's a couple other sites I'll probably list them on too. I've got a huge quantity. This will probably take a couple employees a day or two to list all these. I'll put these up on my list to list. Probably be another, say, 2 or 3 months before they get to them. But I might pull out 1 or 2 and have them list those 1 or 2 quick and get all my money back. I'll probably pick a high dollar 1 or 2, maybe the Bob's Burgers or something like that. Twin Peaks. I don't know if that's related to the TV series or not. Primary Colors. Again, the music goes from all over. There's a bunch of rap in here. There's a bunch of heavy metal. Geez, the list of stuff in here is just amazing. Some oddball stuff. Star Wars, Wilco. I don't know who that is. Cute Cat. Lima. I'm not even sure how you pronounce some of these. Paramore, I've heard of. I don't know who that is. There's a couple damaged ones. It looks like some of these were actually displayed on a wall. Dead Metal Old Growth. Again, I don't know who these are. Dido, I know. Royce, I've heard of. More Morning Jacket. I thought this was Michael Jackson, but obviously not. Foreign ones in here. There's a bunch of the same ones. But when you have multiple of the same ones, it makes it easy. Like on Amazon, you're not paying for the listing until it sells, so that's where probably these will all go up. A lot of tour ones. This looks like Frank Zappa to me. LA Takedown. I would say that's Frank Zappa. That would probably be a good one. Might be one to sell right off the bat. Rhino posters when they're releasing the new records. Again, I could keep going on and I could pull the other stack up. Here's a poster. Let's look at this last one item here and see who it is. I don't know who that is still. You can kind of see it. Again, posters sell well. I don't know who this is. Maybe you will know, but again, good items. Blur, I know. Song number 2, Boys and Girls. They do some really good songs. I love the alternative 90s. I've got a couple by them too. Boy, I'm just going to stop here because I could spend the rest of the day probably looking at these things. Somebody's going to have to spend some time looking them all up because, again, there's like 400 or 500 different posters and items here. Again, pretty good stuff. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I better stop because we're just going to keep going on and on. But you can see value-wise, even if I sold them out at $1 a piece plus shipping, I'm still going to make a ton of money. Labor for shipping that many would be crazy, so I'll probably just list them on Amazon and just let them sit forever until they start selling. And it doesn't hurt throwing them on Amazon. Again, I pay for the $40 a month service anyway, so I have the professional account, had it for a little while now. These will just sit till they sell. Again, I already sold 3. Already have probably all my money back even after fees and all anyway, but I'll probably list some more REM and maybe pick the Bob's Burger and another one and get some bigger cash back and just set these aside until they're gotten to. We have shelves like this all over. There's 27 of these things in this building. And I've got, I think, 12 that are just full of stock for stuff to list. And then they literally start in one section and work their way down. As they're pulling, I'm putting more stuff in behind it for the next 90 days. So it works in a pattern, first in, first out, FIFO. I use that in food, I use that in management, and I use that here in eBay. I don't call it dead stock or my dead pile, it's back stock. It's stuff that's going to sell. Usually, as I said, I'll sell a couple items and get my money back, so I got nothing into it. It's free at this point. It'll just be money later on down the road. There you have another one. There's our haul video. I hope you learned something, maybe saw some things that you could sell too, or that you run across that you just didn't know was worth some money. But again, I'll be posting more videos this week. I'll try to do at least one a day. Depending on time, this week I've got quite a few pickers that I have to run by. I've got 3 phone calls already this week, so beginning of the week's going to be pretty busy for me. Kids back in school. So we'll see how much time we have, but I'll post at least 3 or 4 videos next week and we'll go from there. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Please watch, subscribe, like, and comment on my videos. Thanks, and share them with your friends.